Enemy tells the story of a man who sees another man in a movie that looks exactly like him and how he goes out in search for that man and ultimately the various events that follow. It's a film that I will refrain from spoiling simply because it is so easy to spoil, but at the same time it's a film that I will talk about because it is just so incredibly complex and in my personal opinion, definitely one of the most intelligent films I've seen all year. It's a film focused on relationships between various different characters and how when these two characters meet, how they have to deal with this extremely shocking thing that is to a certain extent overplayed. Rather than being something exciting, it tends to be something more detrimental to them, and the real reason and explanation behind all of that is very interesting. I can safely say it's a film not for everyone, but if you're into more artistic films and films with a great amount of symbolism and hidden inner meanings, and a film that you really want to watch and think about for hours and days on end as I have, this is a film for you. In this film, you really get to observe the contrast between the character of Adam, a history teacher, and Daniel, a up-and-coming or aspiring actor, both masterfully portrayed by Jake Gyllenhaal in what I believe is one of his best performances yet, and really the contrasted lives that they live, which makes this film so incredibly intriguing in terms of the relationships that they have with their women, in terms of the very apartment that they live in and the lives that they lead. And there's something about how the film is generally constructed and its structure itself that really makes the build-up towards certain expected and larger events all the more intense. This film is by far one of the most enthralling and intense experiences I've had in a long time, and considering that there isn't much happening on screen in that sense, it's rather these minor little events that ultimately mean so much to you because of how well fleshed out each character and storyline actually is. And by the end of this film, you will start to view the film from a whole other perspective. I mean, you really then get a deeper insight into what each and every aspect of the film really means and what it's really about and what it's really trying to say. And when you really understand its meaning behind relationships, its meaning behind the genuine functioning of the human mind, behind control and dominance, and about how, in theory, all events occur twice, once as a tragedy, once as a farce, that is a dialogue earlier mentioned in the film, it really makes for what I believe is a fantastic character study and at the same time just a beautifully constructed masterpiece. It's extremely somber and calm in terms of its tone, and in the 90 minutes that it actually presents itself, you will invest yourself into it for a far longer period of time. It's so well and simply edited, where crosscuts have far deeper meanings than you actually understand. It's a film that requires focus, a rare find nowadays. And really, if you're into more art house films, like let's say Only God Forgives, I guarantee you this is the film for you. To delve into the minds of people and how the simplest things in their life mean so much to them and make such a difference in their life and play such a large role is certainly one of the main themes and elements that the film definitely presents. All of this and more is reason to watch Enemy. I believe that it is definitely one of the best films of the year. It's an extremely intense and enthralling experience, one that I wish I could have spoken about more without spoiling. It's one of those rare films, but it's a film that I would recommend you watch, and it definitely gets my highest rating of a triple yes.